Southwest, which the teabaggers in Texas are convinced is actually an Obama plot to invade Texas, take their guns, and impose a new world order. Yes, because we hate Lubbock for its freedom.
Like Obama, I have a teleprompter. All right, new rule, the next guy who bitches to me that gas in Lubbock is $1 cheaper than it is in L.A. has to move to Lubbock. Here's L.A. Here's Lubbock. I'm sorry, that's not a fair picture of Lubbock. Last week when they took it, it was raining.
I come from Lubbock, Texas. It's a country that is flatter than a flitter. Ain't nothing there but cotton and a few oil derricks on down the road. But I don't know. I mean, Buddy came from there. Waylon Jennings was a DJ in the town. I used to go up and listen to him on his radio program. Roy Orbison used to come up and play the skating rink in Lubbock. And I can't tell you how come. I mean, and there's many more. Joe Ely, who's a good friend of mine, and I love playing music with from Lubbock. There's so many folks that came from there. The only thing I noticed about all of them is that none of them live in Lubbock anymore.
If one were to go to Google and search most boring city in America, they would find my hometown, Lubbock, Texas.
We're in Lubbock, Texas, driving towards Kansas, and we passed this yard, and it's a Sunday afternoon, so it's not the easiest day to find somebody around old cars, but Mike was mowing his lawn, so we caught him at the right time, and he's got cars here that you say they're all for sale.
The Dixie Chicks, you guys are so much fun. I love watching you perform.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And where you're all from Texas, all of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, now you two guys are sisters.
Yeah, from Dallas. Nellie's from Lubbock.
And how'd y'all meet to get together to do this group?
We started on a street corner.
You did, honestly?
Playing, yeah. And then we met Nellie about 4 years ago, and she joined the group. And her dad's a famous steel guitar player, Lloyd Maines.
One bad choice can bring devastating harm, but sometimes it can also bring a strength which can never be taken away. We begin on September 8th, 1994 in Lubbock, Texas. The first help got to the scene within 4 minutes.
Hi, this is Rick Gilbert with KFYO, your official Great Race radio station, and these beautiful classic cars are just now making their way into Lubbock at the Civic Center. We've been experiencing some intermittent rain, but that hasn't dampened the spirit of anyone here, and the sight is beautiful.
Anna Harrison, welcome. Tell us about your life and times.
I work in promotions, specializing in products and special events. I'm from Lubbock, Texas, and I just want to say hi to my mom, Anita, my dad, James, my sister, Angel, my grandmother, Flora. Howdy.
All right.
Only in Texas, a horse walks into a bar, and no, it is not the start of a joke.
It sounded like it, partner. Check this out. A man on horseback galloped his way right into a Lubbock bar over the weekend and wrangled quite the crowd. One person even joked and asked the guy, "Do you ride your horse to school?" And he said, "Yeah, I ride it to the bar, too." Proving true that good old Texas stereotype that we all ride horses.
Yeah, he's
insane?
Are you insane?
Shucks, no. Do people ask you a lot about Lubbock? Because we've interviewed you a lot over the years.
Well, I haven't been there since '73, so I don't know if it's still there or not.
You said that it's bigger than it's
bigger
six times bigger than it was when you were there.
It's bigger than Oprah Winfrey's toenail.
But I'm trying to, because we didn't write a lot of interview questions because we've chatted with you so much over the years.
I just filtered through them. I think that's top 10 favorites. Like
well, but we were trying to think of, something that we've only kind of talked to you on the phone about in the past is growing up in Lubbock and what that was like and your family and like those first times that you played a guitar, the first time you got up in front of somebody and played music. Do you want to talk about some of that?
Not in front of my family, no, I didn't do that.
You didn't play in front of your family?
No, I hid that from, I kept that a secret,
Did you really?
Yeah.
So they didn't know that you were playing guitar?
What I do, I was taking guitar lessons, get fiddle lessons. I don't laugh, I'm trying to write. You laughed anyway! Accept.
But do you want to talk a little bit about growing up in Lubbock? Because I think over the last couple of years you've talked more and more about growing up in Lubbock and your family and like how your family, a lot of them were where they came from and things like that. And that's something we haven't really ever sat down and done an interview with and asked you questions about.
Your dad was a mechanic, right?
Yeah, but I forgot how to spell cowboy. I just put down cow.
Oh, that's cowboy. You're good.
Oh, you messed up my joke.
What was I supposed to say?
Okay.
Next.
Next train. Next train to Buffalo, so we get Buffalo.
Well, let's ask you how it feels to be coming back.
I don't know, there's something about West Texas and Lubbock in particular that if you're going to run out of gas without a gas can or have a flat without a spare tire, well, that's where you'd want to be.
If I had to stay, I thought happiness was Lubbock, Texas, and my rearview mirror.
I make the joke that I still, once in a while, I'll find a little grain of sand in my teeth from standing in the wind. There is something special out here, and I don't know if it's the isolation, the flatness of it all, and the bigness of it, whatever you want to call it. It's just inspiring, drinking the water or tasting the wind, whatever it is, So everybody has their own explanation of it, but they come out of the woodwork here. They really do.
Talking with Mac Davis, my favorite artist. Mac, what do you think makes you successful? Why do people love you as much as they do?
I don't know. I work hard. I'll say that for one thing, and I don't forget where I'm from, which is Lubbock, Texas, for another. And other than that, I don't know if there's all that many people that left. There's a lot of people that buy some tickets, so I'm happy about that, especially down here.
Well, you're certainly modest. Tell me this, there are so many people that think they can write a song. What makes a good songwriter?
Honesty, I guess. I've got a new song which I did tonight.
You really surprised a lot of people in the movie North Dallas 40 because you did such a great job acting. Did you surprise yourself? Did you think you would get that good reviews?
No, I didn't. I was pretty surprised. I thought they'd be out to get me, but they were pretty good to me. I wish there was some wood to knock them.
What are your plans for the future? Are you going to do more movies?
I'm so busy. I don't know what. I leave here and go up to Minneapolis and Nebraska and Cheyenne Rodeo, and I'm just working constantly. And I'm finishing up this album. It's called Texas in My Rearview Mirror that I was talking about. I'll be finishing that up, and it'll be out soon.
Only in Texas, a horse walks into a bar. And no, it is not the start of a joke.
It sounded like it, partner. Check this out. A man on horseback galloped his way right into a Lubbock bar over the weekend and wrangled quite the crowd. One person even joked and asked the guy, "Do you ride your horse to school?" And he said, "Yeah, I ride it to the bar too." Proving true that good old Texas stereotype that we all ride horses.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good there. Waving the hat and the whole 9 yards.
Causing quite the commotion.
I like that.
Gotta go saddle up my horse.
Teletype then, huh? Georgie Johns, male. Arrested 3 times on suspicion of burglary. Chattanooga, Tennessee, Lubbock, Texas, Denver, Colorado, and now here. Well?
Explain it again, Captain. I'm broke. I was just looking for...
I reckon $17 won't go far.
17.
Well, they caught George. You had to bail him out. I wasn't going to. When he got down in Lubbock, I said, "No more, Georgie, no more money. I'm eating beans keeping you out on bail."
Wish you had never eat beans, and I couldn't count all the money you owed Georgie.
Talk to people, hear their stories.
You guys like driving around to Winnebago? It's like road rules or something like that.
Love is...
So you've probably heard of Stubbs Barbecue in Austin,
or you've seen Stubbs sauce in stores. Well, the original joint was right here in Lubbock. Stubbs Old-Fashioned Barbecue. It's set right here on this concrete pad where Mr. Christopher B. Stubblefield Sr. cooked barbecue for one and all. Here's a statue of him. He was famous for his smoked meats, but his impact that he made on Texas music was probably even greater than his barbecue. The floor is still littered with pieces of that little white building where Stubb gave Texas musicians a chance to play for their supper and launch their careers. Musical legends like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Joe Ely, Muddy Waters, and Willie Nelson played from this small stage here on the side. Stubbs Barbecue was instrumental in fostering the Lubbock music scene, so much so that musician Terry Allen made this statue in his honor. And the name of this humble cook now adorns the wall of the West Texas Walk of Fame, along with some other very, very famous musicians. To see the full episode or to get info about how to visit this spot, trip on over to thedaytripper.com, or here's some other videos you may like. Vaya con Dios, amigos.
Hey, it's Daryl from Barbecue Superstars down here at Memphis in May, and wow, QL. My God, we got Mr. Stubbs himself, and you know Stubbs is in every grocery store in South Carolina that I've seen. And how many stores are you in?
We're pretty much in every major grocery store across the country. We even sell it overseas a little bit.
Whoa! Uh-oh, now I might have you ranked too low, and I'd like to apologize. You know, I got the top 100 barbecue. I'm the only person that ranks them in the world.
Yeah.
And but tell us a little bit how you got started.
Well, my granddad started out with a restaurant in Lubbock, Texas. He eventually moved to Austin, and everybody loved his sauce, and they said he should sell it. So in 1991, he actually started selling it out of the back of his car, selling out the trunk of his Cadillac, just riding around, and it just took off from there. Now 20 years later, we're the #1 specialty barbecue sauce in the country, and probably 6 or 7 on the list of all barbecue sauces.
Just you know why.
Religious leaders say he's corrupting the youth of America.
Why you and I
Psychologists feel he's creating mass hysteria.
will by and by.
Police say he incites rioting.
No true love way.
They think he's crazy, even dangerous.
Sometimes we'll sigh.
He's just 20 years old.
Sometimes we'll cry.
And yet, he's one of the most important men in America.
We'll know why.
He's going to change the future of a whole generation. His name is Buddy Holly. And this is his story.
That'll be the day when you say goodbye.
Now this music is a threat to our very society.
I have a sound in my head. So far, it's not like anything we've done here. You said, let's get out here and make some records fast. Well, I'm here, and this is what we've done. Now, what do you call it?
Probably a mistake, buddy.
Every day, it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster.
Wait, hold it. There's a phone call for you. Long distance, someplace in New York.
New York, who the hell you know in New York?
You don't mean to stand there and tell me you're white. No white actors ever played the Apollo.
Now, get ready, we're gonna play some rock and roll. Well, hell, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. 'Cause that'll be the day when you make me cry.
I've never, ever chased after a girl before in my life. If you're not going to go out with me, I want to know why.
Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue, pretty, 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 Peggy Sue.
Never say anything like that again.
All my love, all my good, you don't know what you've been. Come on, my love's for real and not fade away. And my love's bigger than the Cadillac. Well, I tried to show you and you tried to me back.
The Buddy Holly Story. You'll be laughing, crying, singing, and stomping your feet.
What's the difference?
What about St. Louis? You ever been to St. Louis?
Sure.
I got an idea for a pretty good score
An
up there.
expedition of 19 high school ROTC cadets from Lubbock. The man put his charges to bed at 9:30.
It's the face of a man whose roles on stage have closely imitated his life off it. A dad, a military member, a cowboy. His career as an actor has spanned decades and taken him around the world, but it started right here in West Texas.
Oh, that's the whole base of it, the whole base of it. I learned everything I know pretty much right here.
Born about 60 miles south of Lubbock in La Mesa, Barry Corbin spent some time in Austin before returning to Lubbock, where he graduated from Monterey High School in 1959. If you ask him today, he's proud to call West Texas home, but that wasn't always the case.
I had a map on my wall in my bedroom of the United States, and I had an arrow drawn from Lubbock, Texas, toward New York, and I wrote, "Toward civilization."
His path toward civilization started at Texas Tech University in the fall of '59.
First year I was here, they were talking about changing the name to Texas Tech University. A bunch of us got together and thought, technological and university don't go together. How can you have a technological university? Because by necessity, technical means one thing. So we thought it ought to be named something else besides Texas Tech University, but the Texas Tech University folks won.
Corbin may have lost that battle, but on the stage, he succeeded.
My first year here, I was a freshman. I got to play the lead in The Imaginary Invalid. I played an old rich guy who's being conned by all these charlatan doctors. The next year, I played Sir John Falstaff in Merry Wives of Windsor. Big old fat character, and I weighed about 145 pounds when wet, so they had to make a big fat suit for me. And I had this red wig and red beard, big nose.
He says his studies were focused only on acting.
I'd read the plays and decide whether I wanted to go that semester or not. If I didn't want to go, if I didn't like the plays, I'd go work on an oil rig and maybe do a play at the community theater.
Years later, Corbin would trade the West Texas Wind for the Windy City. He also spent some time working in the Southeast, in New York and in California. His resume is long, more than 100 movies and TV shows, including Urban Cowboy, Any Which Way You Can, and War Games. Corbin's also appeared on Dallas, Lonesome Dove, Northern Exposure, and more recently, Modern Family and Anger Management. Every one of those roles, he says, is for us, his fans.
I don't want to bother you, but could I get your autograph? I say, if you don't bother me, if you don't come to me and ask for my autograph, next month, the next year, people in Hollywood are going to quit calling me because I'm not working for them, I'm working for you.
Now 76, Corbin has no plans of slowing down.
Yeah, keep working. No, I've been so lucky in my career. I've been nominated for major awards, won some. I'm in several halls of fame, the Texas Film Hall of Fame, the Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame.
When he's not working, you'll probably find him here at his one-bedroom house in a small town outside of Fort Worth. He always has a bag packed, he says, ready for that next job. And to those who dream of the day they get those same calls, Corbin offers this advice.
Be sure you're prepared for more rejection than you could ever imagine. You've got to be an infant inside, but you've got to have the hide of a rhinoceros.
During a recent trip to Texas Tech to speak at an on-campus event, Corbin reflected on how much is different.
From the time I started school here in '59, the change is enormous.
But after a few trips to civilization and back,
well, I got to New York, and they're no more civilized than we are. In a lot of ways, they're less civilized than we are.
He finds comfort in knowing there are some things that'll always stay the same.
Lubbock, Texas is as flat as a tabletop, and it has dust storms, sandstorms, Everything that grows here's got thorns on it.
For Texas Tech Today,
For better or worse, it's my home.
I'm Allison Hirth.